All right, y'all. So yesterday we found out that Black Americans are a part of the sixth region of the African Union. Without us knowing this, and it's quite interesting because Haiti wanted to actually be a part of the African Union, but they rejected Haiti's application. Okay, but somehow we ended up in some shit, and majority of us had no idea that we were even a part of this. Now, on the post when we previously wrote this out and talked about it, many of y'all asked, okay, so what the hell is this? We all figured out we did not know. I knew what the African Union was. I didn't know we were a part of it. And we started breaking down and figuring out the agenda, right? What is their agenda? What is it they want? What is it that they're trying to achieve? I assure you, it's absolutely nothing that has to do with really America or Black Americans as a group. But let me go ahead and show you what I found. So this is African Union, the Diaspora Division. The Diaspora Division serves as the focal point and hub for implementing the African Union decision to invite and encourage the African diaspora to participate in the building and development of the African continent. Its main task, therefore, is to serve as a catalyst for rebuilding the global African family in the service of the development and integration agenda of the continent. Are y'all peeping and clocking that language they're using? Are y'all clocking that? Its main task, therefore, is to serve as a catalyst for rebuilding the global African family in the service of the development and integration agenda of the continent. This division is under the Directorate Office of the Department and takes directives and instructions from the Directorate Office. Okay. The main constituents of the diaspora division are the African diaspora. The African Union defines the African diaspora as consisting of people of African origin living outside the continent, irrespective of their citizenship and nationality, and who are willing to contribute to the development of the continent and the building of the African Union. Its constitutive act declares that it shall invite and encourage the full participation of the African diaspora as an important part of our continent in the building of the African Union. Within this context, the Diaspora Division serves as the counterpart of the Civil Society Division for the diaspora. As such, it carries out responsibilities that its counterpart performs for civil society for the African diaspora. Core responsibilities of the division: mainstreaming diaspora participation in the African Union agenda across departments, partnership frameworks, and the wide range of policy activity, including the flagship Agenda 2063. Now, go check the video from yesterday, y'all, where I showed y'all how they are in American government already trying to tackle this policy activity in American government and Congress. Okay. It's a lot of U.S. to Africa building programs. They're trying to launch a African youth leader exchange program, all kinds of stuff, y'all. Strengthening the operational capacity of the African Union to support diaspora involvement in AU activities through regular communication and flow of information on AU events and activities, and vice versa. Cross fertilization of AU program with diaspora activities and mapping of African diaspora around the world. How does the diaspora not know? I think the only diaspora who really knew about this stuff, y'all, was people who are from the African continent, right? The people who immigrated to these different places and their kids, I think, are the only people who really knew solidly that this was taking place. And I find it interesting because I thought that diaspora was like the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, but apparently it's not, y'all. It includes just people who live off of that. So are we even considered a part of their diaspora, y'all, by their definition of it? Because I don't think so. I don't think we even a part of their, but they're using African Americans. So it's quite weird because they're using African American, but I wouldn't consider ourselves to be a part of their diaspora. Serving as focal point for accreditation of diaspora organizations and networks as observers, delegates, and participants at AU Summit and other meetings. Managing and coordinating other forms of interaction between the AU and diaspora organizations worldwide. This includes collaboration on policy, which we clock, and advocacy efforts of diaspora networks and coalitions, technical support and assistance, enabling framework of cooperation and working relations, enabling participation of diaspora and CSO, pre-summit forums, and promoting effective collaboration between diaspora civil society, organization, and approximate bodies on the continent. Promoting of effective linkages between the diaspora and various organs of the Union, including ECOSOCC, PCS, and Pan-African Parliament. Who is Pan-African Parliament is getting on my nerves, among others. Interfacing the African diaspora with the work of different departments of the AU Commission and their programs and efforts. The program of activities are, however, adapted to the context in which the program for diaspora participation in AU activities of the Diaspora Division developed within the context of the protocol on the amendment to the Constitutive Act of 2003. Okay. And acting head of a division is, of course, not a Black American person. All right. Also, you're going to start seeing a lot of this here. Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. This is also, I found this in place in American government too, when Biden was meeting with the AU. And they were talking about this. So this all started, who actually started rolling this whole thing out actually was Obama. I tracked it all the way back to Obama. It started with Obama. Okay. Then Trump put in a little bit on it in his first presidency. Biden put in on it as well and like really kind of kicked it off. And now we're here. Now we're here, y'all. Okay. And so this is so you can see a little bit about the Agenda 2063. Basically, they're talking about going in the African Renaissance, which is good for them. We just need them to stop claiming our shit, though, and all that. So they're trying to get to their place of being a global dominant player in the world by uniting all the countries of Africa into 54 states, and then having us as the 55th state, the diaspora. And yeah. Okay, Caricom has already come in on this. African Union signed MOU for closer cooperation. So that's for the Caribbean nations to know that they are a part of this now, except Haiti, apparently. And this shows them so that they can see exactly when this happened, because they are diaspora too. And they're already getting grants and stuff rolled out from American funding to rebuild Africa. So you check this out and pay attention to this as well. Enhancing U.S.-Africa ties through trade and investment for economic growth. The U.S. Lord, I'm getting tongue-tied. The U.S. mission to the African Union. You're going to see a lot of that. The U.S. mission to the African Union. A lot of stuff is under just that right there. And again, it shows it to you right here. They officially recognized the diaspora as a sixth region in 2003, y'all. 2003. Which is quite interesting. They've been having a lot of movement in June. I found so much stuff connected to June 2025. And I find it fascinating because these people treat us like absolute dirt. Like we are treated the worst. And I don't know why anybody thought that we would want to participate in this at this point in time. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay. But yeah, your girl went digging to figure all this shit out. And I'm still finding out some more shit. But like I said, they're getting grants and all kinds of stuff, funding from our U.S. government, to rebuild Africa, but we can't get our tax dollars to rebuild our freaking neighborhoods. Okay.